If you're the type of person who wants a power solution that's actually reliable, easy to live with, and worth every penny, not just a gadget that flashes impressive numbers, then you're going to want to hear what I found out about the Anker SOLIX 3800. I spent a couple of evenings digging through forums, reading what owners actually say, and watching a few hands-on videos, because buying the wrong backup system can make a storm or a camping trip turn into a nightmare. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why the big battery hype can be misleading. A lot of the time you'll see 3.8 kilowatt hours and think, that's enough to run my whole house for days. In reality, that capacity translates to about 30 minutes of running a 7 kilowatts air conditioner at full blast, or roughly 10 hours of a typical refrigerator. If you're thinking of using this as a primary generator for a whole suburban home, you'll quickly discover the limits. The SOLIX 3800 is better thought of as a sturdy sidekick for emergencies, RV trips, or short-term off-grid living rather than a full-time replacement for a diesel generator. So, who should actually consider this unit? If you own an RV or a tiny cabin that you only power a few nights a week, the dual-voltage capability 120V and 240V makes it simple to plug in everything from a microwave to an electric kettle without needing a separate transformer. Campers who enjoy cooking, charging phones, and maybe running a small portable heater will appreciate the 6,000 WAC output, which can handle most low-to-medium draw appliances without tripping. Homeowners in areas prone to prolonged outages will find the built-in transfer switch kit handy. It lets you wire the SOLIX directly to a few critical circuits, think the fridge, a few lights, and the internet router, so when the grid goes down, the switch flips automatically, and you don't have to scramble with extension cords. On the flip side, skip this if you're looking for a system to power a full-size workshop or want to run high-draw tools like table saws for hours on end. The 6,000 W peak is impressive, but the continuous output is limited to about 5,000 W. And the battery will drain fast under heavy loads. Also, if you're a budget-conscious buyer who only needs a few outlets for phones during a blackout, you'll probably find cheaper portable power banks that do exactly that without the extra bulk. Now, let's break down the practical strengths. The SOLIX 3800 is quiet around 45 dB, so it won't annoy you or your neighbors if you're using it for a night of camping. Many users who camp in quiet wilderness areas complain about generators that sound like a motorcycle. This one is more like a quiet refrigerator humming in the background. The unit also includes a built-in solar charge controller, meaning you can hook up a 200+ watt solar panel and let the sun refill the battery during the day. For people who want a clean energy solution without the fumes of gasoline, that's a real win. The dual-voltage outlet box is another convenience. You can plug a 240V dryer or an EV charger directly into the unit without a separate inverter, which saves you on extra adapters and potential power loss. One hidden trade-off is the weight and dimensions. At roughly 150 pounds, it's not something you'll want to carry up 3 flights of stairs. The packaging does include a set of wheels and a telescoping handle, but getting it from the truck to the campsite still requires a bit of muscle. If you're living in a high-rise apartment and plan to store it in a closet, you'll need to make sure that space can handle the size. Think of a small fridge's footprint, but heavier. Another practical downside is the charging time from AC. Even with a dedicated 240V outlet, you're looking at 8 to 10 hours to reach a full charge. That means if a storm hits in the middle of the night, you'll need to have already charged the unit ahead of time, or you'll be relying on solar, which is unpredictable in cloudy weather. Real-world usage scenarios help illustrate these points. One reviewer I saw on a camping forum described using the SOLIX to power a portable electric heater, a small fridge, and a laptop while they were in a national park. They set up the solar panels during the day, and by evening the battery was at about 75% capacity, enough to run the heater for a few hours and keep the fridge at a safe temperature. The fact that the unit stayed under 50 dB meant they could sleep through the night without the usual generator roar. In a separate homeowner story, a family in the Midwest plugged the SOLIX into their main breaker panel via the transfer switch kit. During a 3-day outage, they kept the refrigerator, a handful of lights, and their Wi-Fi router running. Their electric water heater was the only thing they had to forgo, which they managed by using a propane tank instead. The family emphasized that the system gave them peace of mind knowing the essential appliances stayed on while